Demolition by neglect.
So is this part of what's happened to the Blue Bridge, that on purpose it hasn't had proper?
Argued no. Did have the privilege of talking with a gentleman who did the mechanical inspection. The lubrication has been done correctly, which is the most important thing. If you view it from the waterway, please remember, as a maritime nation, waterway has first priority, rail second, automobiles third, bikes and peds are fourth. I think dogs and cats are in there maybe. But the basic.
This rust thing that you said grew from inside out, what was the term for this?
Pack rust.
Yeah, have we got that?
Yes, you have some, not very much. Not very much. From you know, as a corrosion engineer looking at it, I would say that, yeah, it looks pretty rough. But, and I will confess to having picked at your bridge. I was looking to see if I could get my nail down into any areas to expose what we call a pit. And for all of the obvious places where pieces of metal come together, which is where corrosion starts, it wasn't. Mostly it's places where the paint has just peeled off and you've got some surface rust. You blast that, goes away.
Pack rust was presented as a reason that the bridge had, like, immediately to be replaced, that it could not be remedied, that the bridge must be replaced. Is that not true then, if we don't have that much pack rust?
I would argue that if you had sufficient pack rust that you had to replace major members on that bridge or replace the bridge, it would be so obvious that you as a citizen would see it.
His name in terms of heritage value with when it's attached to a bridge.
Big time.
Hmm?
Big time. In the United States, you have to show that there's no proven feasible alternative. You can't assert. So I've heard assertions, but I haven't seen proof. Very even-handed. As I read the report, I can say, I could go either way with this. And then when you look at the life cycle cost, it slightly favors rehabilitation, which I would expect. And so, okay, it's a historic bridge. You can do it for at least the cost of a new bridge or better. So in the United States, that's a decision made right there.
Last thing, short. You do this whole new bridge thing, it lasts 100 years. Well, the whole island could kick off anytime soon, and I'm worried about it. So how do you help people to wrap their brains around this one?
Okay. I'm not a sociologist, so forgive me for stepping into territory I probably shouldn't, but we really don't know what's going to happen into the future. All we know is today. You know, the story, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today you can do something. So we need to focus on it. Many of us have been advocating building bridges that last a long time because we've been working on these bridges, and we're seeing that although the roads fall apart like mad, bridges generally don't. And so, okay, but when they start reaching that 60 to 80 year point, they start requiring more work. It's kind of like wives referring to their husbands. They have to do. Can you make that before he needs a lot of work phase? Can you push that off? Well, hell yes, you can do that. It requires an investment of number one, time. Hurried projects never go well. You get a longer life. But what I would say is that if somebody tells you that this bridge is being designed for 100 years, be very skeptical. Require them to show you the techniques that they're getting at. How are they reducing fatigue? How are they reducing corrosion? How are they reducing wear? What are they doing in order to physically do that? Don't accept a raw assertion. That if a new bridge is built, okay, accept it. But plan for the fact that a new bridge is going to have a paint job in 15 to 25 years. It depends on what part of the work that you're talking about is what you have to do. It didn't have pictures of one of the vertical lift bridges that is just wrapping up in Astoria right now, where we had painted. It is like this bridge is the only way in and out of the harbor. So that means that you have to keep opening it, you can't close the bridge. How do you paint it? Well, you learn how to get back in down. You make the enclosure for it much more limited. So you're only doing a smaller part. You can use some of the newer methods. Dry ice, high pressure water. Usually for lead paint, to get it off, you can't do it with just water. You need crushed walnut shells or something like that. A non-metallic aggregate in there that you can recover. So there's things that you can do. But this is where you all may want to make sure that whoever is formulating the project is open to this. What I kind of advertised to the organizers of this event, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. All I want to do is open to it. You'll make a good decision. Open minds make it.
First of all, I commend you. What a wonderful presentation on the preservation of bridges, large and small.
If there is a measured movement laterally, again, I'll always come back to this, is if someone gives you an assertion that something is happening and they don't have measurements to back it up, you know what it's not worth. Okay? Back it up with numbers. The railroad bridge was moving closer to the highway bridge as it's going through its movements. Okay, now you know how much. That's a key thing. And then you can say, well, all right, what if the bridges were to displace 12 inches with respect to each other during a seismic event? So worst case is they come 12 inches closer. Do you have 12 inches? You do? Okay. Then what you've got is probably a non-problem.